Hello, it is Sundays with Sandra, and I am making French onion soup. This is another meal that I thought was going to be really difficult to make, and it turns out it's really easy. So, what I have here is a whole pot full of sliced onions, and I use Walla Walla onions, sweet onions. Walla Walla onions come from Washington State. So I've got a whole bunch of them in there, and I've put a bunch of coconut oil in as well. You need some sort of fat in there to be able to help the onions. So we are going to caramelize the onions. We want to cook them down, and they're going to turn a little bit brown. This enables the sweetness of the onions to come out. And my burner is just getting going. So this is going to be a multi-part process. So that's it for now, and then we will show you more later when it comes to putting it together. All right, it is Sundays with Sandra, finishing the onion soup that I made yesterday. In this pot, we've got some of the cooked down onions that we cooked up yesterday, and I've got bone broth in this container going into it. I'm going to heat it up a little bit. Then I'm going to put it in the bowls and show you how we bake it, because of course that's what happens. It gets baked. It's going to take a little bit for this to heat up. I get some additional water because that's going to be too concentrated. So I've got some water that I'm going to add in. I add fish sauce to this. Makes it much more flavorful. While that is heating, these are glass bowls that are oven safe. So I cook this in a toaster oven. That's good enough. It's going to be baked, so it doesn't need to be perfectly hot now. So I want to put this into my two bowls. And like I said yesterday when I was starting this off, this is a really pretty simple, straightforward recipe that seems to be fancier than it actually is. So it's just a really nice thing to make. It's delicious to eat. It is kind of filling. So I'm going to put some more bone broth in these. This is the water to dilute it a little bit. I'm going to move over to the other counter to assemble the rest of it so that I get the spicing right, the amount of fish sauce flavor. I'm actually going to taste it a little bit here. Definitely needs more fish sauce. This is red boat fish sauce, which I think is the best. That should be enough. So we have bread that's going to go on top here. If you've ever had French onion soup, there's bread and cheese baked on it. This case, it is coconut flour bread because we're gluten-free. This is Gouda cheese grated. So think about having restaurant quality food at home. Part of why I make these Sundays with Sandra videos is so you can see how easy it is to make good food, enjoyable food at home. And when I make food at home, I have control over the ingredients. I have control over the quality of what I am eating and how I feel eating it. When I go to a restaurant or I buy something packaged in a store, I don't have that control. There we go. And I'm going to put those in toaster oven over here and bake it. It's going to be 350 for about half an hour or so. That's it. French onion soup, Sundays with Sandra.